Battle is my guest on the programme now. It's a bit of a strange thing you've got going on here, Nick, because this is your album. Yes. So these are songs that you wrote, yes. And but you've got other people to sing them for you.
With one exception, yes, because I want to serve the song. It's about finding people I've journeyed with musically over the years, in some cases 30 years, like Andy Pearcey from After the Fire, people like Chris Eaton, who I was in a band with back in the 80s, and then bringing young people through too and giving them a little platform like Esther Alexander, Deborah Clark and Matthew McCauley. And so it's kind of doing what I do, which is it's kind of A&Ring in public, but they're my songs with my friends.
So tell us about that one, because that one's got quite a significance for you.
Yeah, I wrote it 17 years ago when Misha...
who's your daughter?
Yeah, was getting christened with Kipper, and who... Kipper actually assigned in a band called One Nation to Iris Records in the 80s. And he went on to produce Sting, he did Brand New Day, he did Sacred Love, he did All This Time. And he's produced this record, and he and I wrote that song for Misha. He's Misha's godfather. And what's been lovely is actually he came to her baptism by choice, as I put it, a couple of years back, and watched her go into the pool, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. So that's quite a special song, because actually at the time we wrote it, we were saying shine with an essence of purity, shine like snow white dove, or shine with innocence. That's who she is, and it's lovely to see that. And yet, that was what I wanted for her as her daddy. Right. But actually, that's what it's come to be. It's really.
So that was at her christening.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. At St Luke's in Holloway in London.
Okay. And Kipper, you've been friends with for years and years. You said you signed
23 years.
You signed him when he was in a band, and he's been with you because your life has had. We should plug the book, Big Boys Don't Cry, which you've not brought with you tonight, but is definitely worth buying. It's kind of Nick's autobiography.
Yeah, it's a new hardback version out with 2 new chapters actually for the last few years.
Okay. And that tells your ups and downs in the music business and your spiritual journey. It talks about that. You're very honest in there, which I liked. And it also talks about the horrors of your first wife dying of cancer, and the struggle of that. And you talked in a very real way about that. And some of the songs on this album are kind of like diary moments for that journey too, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a diary really of the past 17 years. And after that 17 years, that was a tough road. But it's also it's a journey, and it ends in restoration and hope.
Yeah. Because you're married again.
Yes, I have a baby son who turns 1 on June the 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at you, you're an old guy.
It's not bad, is it?
So what that's going to be like, I suppose, you still, do you still feel, fit enough to chase your baby son around?
Yes, one of the things I struggle with is fitness, so I'm praying that I'll ask people to pray for me that I would get fit, actually, and lose weight and get fit, and I'd like to be around for as long as God allows, but certainly I'd like to see my son get married. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Might well be 80, but it would be amazing.
Yeah. You just have to pray he gets on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, falls in love at 18.
Yeah, that would do. I'll be 69 then. Not so bad, eh?
Yeah, not bad at all. 69 and waving goodbye to your son as he goes to university.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a real pleasure making this record. And it encapsulates kind of spiritual, musical, emotional journeys and lots of friendships.
Yeah. And what I like about it is the range of music on here in terms of the different styles of tracks and everything, which kind of demonstrates your own kind of eclectic approach to music, that you like all kinds of different music, don't you?
I love it. I was brought up in classical music. My mum played in the Sheffield Youth Orchestra, played the violin, but she instilled in me a love of jazz and blues and stuff, and I love that too. It is eclectic, I'm just thrilled to have been able to make it, to be honest with you.
Because you were out of music for a long time in terms of making music. You came back with the Big Boys Don't Cry instrumental album a couple of years back. Was it a surprise to you to be making and recording music as opposed to writing songs for somebody else?
Oh, you mean Let Go and Let God, sorry. Yeah, yes.
Is it Let Go and Let God? I was thinking of it as being called Big Boys Don't Cry, like the book.
No.
Let Go and Let God is the name of the first album.
Yeah. Was it a surprise to have been out of the...
well, having been writing songs for other people, and everything, and doing that over a long period of time, but not recording your own music for a while in terms of you being the artist. Was it quite nice coming back to it?
Oh, it was fantastic to come back to. Because I always maintain that actually I'm not that talented. I think my talent has been, if anything, being able to meet people and get along with them and help harness their talent and nurture that maybe. And I don't know. I mean, working with Gary Barlow was interesting because he certainly didn't need to write with me, yet he chose to. And to this day, I don't know why he really did that.
See, as Paul McCartney was telling me the other day, it's very dangerous to name drop.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
And
He never calls me anymore.
doesn't he, Paul?
No.
Did he used to call you?
Puh. I've got him puh.
What about spiritual maturity? Because you've said as a younger guy you had all kinds of issues and problems. It took quite a while to knock those things out.
Yes.
And now you seem a much calmer and more sensible person in terms of you've been through quite a lot, and sometimes you know you've had hard things happen to you, and sometimes it is the hard things that force you to mature spiritually in order to cope with them. Would you say that's been true of your own journey?
Yes, I describe myself as a shop-soiled Christian who frequently gets things wrong, but is redeemed by the grace of God and the love of Jesus. And sometimes it takes great tragedy or difficult things to happen in life for us to have our faith refined and for us to grow up through that and to live our lives more meaningfully and live out our faith in the way that God really intended. And by that I mean doing the difficult stuff. It'd be very easy when difficult things happen to throw the baby or throw good out with the bathwater, but wouldn't it be a real tragedy if we went through life being crippled by what had happened to us and allowed that to destroy us? I think C.S. Lewis says, don't waste your sorrows. And it's that thing of actually turning what has been bad into good and having it turn around and looking outwardly and not letting it destroy you, which is really important. And I've been able to do that by the grace of God, by the love of my friends and family, by the community around me. And, you know, if someone's going through a hard time and they're struggling, stand with them. Stand with them, because people stood with me, and people that stood with me, the people who had tragedy in their lives, understood how that felt.
Yeah, because when you went through the whole horrible thing of your first wife dying, your response to it wasn't oh bless God, everything's going to work out for good. Your response to it was shock and horror and pain and
what on earth is going on here? And how dare you, God?
And swearing.
Yeah.
And you know,
isn't that a real response?
Yeah, exactly. That is a real response.
Because I'm in relationship with God. It's not an anodyne thing. I don't go with a matching pink hat, handbag and poodle to church on a Sunday and tick a box. I'm in a relationship with God. I'm in a relationship with Jesus. It's as real and as gritty, and it's messy. And that's because I'm real and gritty and messy, and because He's gracious and loving.
Nick Battle's my guest in the programme. Got the album out called King of My Heart.
Could we play Hand of Heaven?
We can do. Any particular reason why you'd like me to do that?
Because this was a time in my life when the cancer first came for Lynn. I got together with Paul Field, who I toured with when I left after the fire, between joining Fishcote and after the fire. And it was calling out to God for help. And it's sung here by a friend of mine from Belfast called Lee Rogers. And it's a favourite.